Okay, this video is going to be about how I've organized my Dark Shadows collection. And first of all are a number of the factual books, and almost all of these are loaded with pictures and everything, good information, tend to be written by somebody that really was in the show and or knew exactly all about the show. Almanac books, another one of those. And then there are books that have various cartoon strips that have been saved. You can see there. Now, Lara Parker, who played the role of Angelique, has written 4 books, and these are worth getting. And this is one of the paperbacks, which you can see the cover's been damaged, and I've sent for a new copy. And then there are fanzines. Now, this one is dealing with a particular time in the show, and it has very complete summary of each episode's Dark Shadows Chronic Concordance number 2. Now, the one thing about fanzines, you get them on eBay, they're going to be expensive. A lot of the books here, in fact, almost all the books I got off of Amazon, but start looking into fanzines and you're not going to find any cheap ones. Okay, next we have the actual paperback series on Dark Shadows. And he started out with Victoria Winters and general things. Moved on to stories based on Barnabas. And then went on to add stories about Barnabas and Quentin. A lot of them deal with women who fell in love with Barnabas. And of course, you know how that always ended in these. They are good. You can find them on eBay usually. If I remember correctly, the one about the hidden tomb is the hardest one to get. They're not necessarily expensive. I haven't read every single one of them yet, but I'm down to about maybe 4, maybe 5 left that I need to read. And we'll move on. There's a couple more of the Dark Shadows paperbacks. And then Barnabas Collins in a Funny Vein, which were basically groaners. There's a couple more fanzines. And then a couple DVDs here. Now this is the remake, or the movie, which I didn't think much of. DVD of Bloopers and Treasures, which is actually on the Coffin collection, which I'll be showing you shortly. Some special things. A couple of the earlier Dark Shadows comic books. And then things from Big Finish Production. These are dramas or book readings. They have a bunch of them. You can either buy them in a CD form already made, or, and it's cheaper, download them to your own computer and then burn them off on discs. I take the image that comes with it, print it out, and tape it to the front. There's one on music. I don't think this was from Big Finish, I'm not too sure. A lot of these have original actors and actresses, although there's some of them that don't have any of the original people. But everyone I've listened to so far has been interesting. Some of them quite good. One I had my doubts about originally was this one, London Burning. But it turned out to be an extremely interesting one. Of course, I happen to be interested in World War II. This is based in World War II. So once again, we pause. Okay, there's some more of the Big Finish productions. One thing I forgot to point out on this one, Jonathan Frid actually did the voice. And the story, I haven't listened to it yet, but the story has it that Barnabas was not a vampire at the time this was done. Now you can also get audiobooks, which are readings from the original paperbacks which I showed you. And those aren't very expensive at all. Now, here is something else I got a hold of. It's just a regular binder, but the person had done a neat 8x10 portrait of Barnabas. So this became my Dark Shadows notebook. Now what I have in it, I printed out a list of all of the books, the paperbacks of the original series, and then I note down whether I've reviewed them or not. My reviews are on my web pages, and they're also up on Goodreads. And that goes on there. I also keep various articles that I found that were interesting. Now, we get to the trading cards. This is the series that's the most difficult to get, the pink series. Generally on eBay, they're going at $3 a card. And considering there was probably 50, 60 of them per set, that would run you into quite a bit. Now you can get lucky and get the later sets. That's sets. This is the green-edged set, which you can see here. And the back of the cards will be arranged. You can arrange to have it, put them together and make a different image, but I wanted them in the number order. Here's some more of the green set. And again the back. Another page of the green cards. And again the back. More green cards. And the back. And yes, indeed, more green cards. That one, Quentin, doesn't look like he's too good there. The back. More green cards. More back of green cards. And another set of green cards. I'm over them. And then the other green cards. And then there's one more set. These are the orange rimmed cards. Now this is where they're all put together. Okay, more of the orange rimmed cards. And again, when you get them together, you get that image. More of the orange ones. A neat one of Collinwood in the back with Victoria running away from it. More orange cards. This one, quite in there. More orange ones. And this one, Barnabas. More orange. Another back put together. More orange ones. The guy in the upper right looks a little bit like the Master from Doctor Who. And the back of this one, more orange cards. And then there's one more set. And this is the most colorful one. And you can get these off of eBay too. They're not too bad. Get them as a whole set. Now, unlike the other ones, these have information on the back. So, more of those cards. And again, they all have information on the back, which is sideways here. More of the orange set. Or not the orange set, the new set. Relatively new. More of those. That's from a time when, TV shows almost automatically had a lot of trading cards from them, but that isn't as popular as it used to be, apparently. As far as I know, I don't think they did any for the remake. Which I was definitely not impressed by. There's more there. Now, there are a few other things I found along the way. Like Willie Loomis driving license. I don't think I'd want to drive with him. Photograph. And what we got here? Oh, this is an older thing. The list of the radio dramas from Big Finish. Article I printed out on the trading cards. And more information on the trading cards. And this is another 8x10. If you happen to have that series of cards, you could put those in a binder separate. You notice they call it wallet photos rather than trading cards. And look at the price, 5 cents. There's no way you can buy a set of cards for anything anymore at that price. Now I already have a video I did of the collection, but I still want to show it to you here. This is the Dark Shadows episode collection. There's 131 DVDs. They cover every episode made. And there's a lot of extras on these. Now, one of the extras you get with the set is this booklet. And the booklet has a lot of photos in it, but it also has a short synopsis of each episode and whether or not that particular DVD has extras on it. Now, the box this is in is also pretty good. Pretty solid box. And then you open it up, and there you have Barnabas in his casket. And it shows you all the DVDs, and then the booklet comes with that. Now, I got this a while ago from Amazon, and it's definitely gone up in price. But if you really, really like the series, you've got to get this. Now remember though, the first ones are before Barnabas. They ran about a year or so before Barnabas even appeared. And then you had the regular Barnabas ones, and then you get into the ones where they have the time travel and so forth. The extras, as I said, there's a lot of them. They're very good. You find a bunch of them up on YouTube where people have copied them somehow from the DVD. I don't know how to do that. And there's one other thing I have, the Barnabas Collins Dark Shadows game. There was one piece missing from this when I got it off eBay. See, it has the instructions on the inside, nice skeleton and everything. And then you've got a coffin, which has bones, which kind of fits. Then you have the object of the game printed on a separate card. You have the typical spinner of the time, and you get to spin to get whichever bone you get. These are to construct, I think, to put the skeletons on. And those are nothing but extra things. Again, this is another thing you can get off of eBay. There's the rib cage. Let's see what else we got here. Yep, another rib cage. Another rib cage. And another rib cage. A lot of rib cages go with this set. Oh, there's the head. So you can get a head with this game. And then the various arm bones and leg bones and so forth. It's, you know, nice little sort of gruesome thing you can play. So I thought, you know, that looked interesting, and it kind of is. Yeah, they labeled all of the things, and then they show you how it's supposed to go on the stand and everything. So if you really like to collect Dark Shadows things, you may want to try to pick yourself